When the lights come on, burning like the sun, you can feel the heat run. When the pressures rise, building up inside, trying to break it down, but you come back stronger, ready to fight. Can't wait any longer. It's our time. It's like a force of nature. No stopping now. It's the stars to make it. Stronger than that. It's like a force of nature. No stopping now. It's the stars to make it. Stronger than that. Stronger than that.
Ethan Burrell going big spin by the 50-60s. It won't be enough. Chris Record on the back of Johnny Jones, who covered the flat. But Johnny is going to victory at Daytona, scores the win. The home place here completely taken by
It's like a force of nature. No stopping now. It's the stars that make it. Stronger than that. It's like a force of nature. No stopping now. It's the stars that make it. Stronger than that. Stronger than that.
Yes, Road America, located in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. So glad you could join us here tonight for some twists and turns on America's newest addition to the Cup schedule here, Road America, and one I am excited to be bringing you live here tonight for the round number 10 of tonight's season here. The penultimate race before we decide who is going to be racing for a championship. Road America Challenge here. I am Alex and Rish. Dave will be joining us in just a sec. My producer and now co-anchor, Rishav, he has some homework to be taken care of here. Hope he is able to get that done. Want to make sure that that man is off to bigger and better things later on in the future. So I will be your main voice here tonight. And I'm glad that I am, because tonight is going to be one of which I am sure we are going to be able to be talking about here throughout the season here. I'm just so excited here, Dave. I don't know about you, but Road America, when they first introduced it to the series 2 seasons ago, when they announced that they were coming here, and then it being the first Cup race we have seen on this schedule in 65 years, it just made that event really special. And I think looking back to last year, where Chase Elliott was able to get the victory under the 4th of July banner, it was just a great event for NASCAR.
Yeah, and listening to driver chat as they practiced before the race, the opinions are all over the board as to whether or not this is a good race or a bad race. But I know from looking at the qualifying, it looks like people have been struggling to even put a lap together. So should be an interesting night.
32 laps here tonight. We will have a fun flag, if you will. Caution coming out at lap number 8. We'll talk a little bit about strategy. Then let's go ahead and take a look at the points as we have qualifying, about 5 minutes left here up on the board. Top 12 in points. Those guys are going to be racing for a championship after next week's race. Those that are below the cutoff line here from 13th place on back will have some work to do. They have just 2 shots at trying to get their name into the top 12. As you can see, Tyler Fode, top of the board here, 322 points. He has done a phenomenal job, has yet to go to victory lane here. Can he get it done here tonight? 40 and Nick Massey here this season. Multiple winner here, has gone to victory lane 3 times already in that 48 car. He is second as they are seated so far, but having a stellar season here. Chad Thornquist and then David Tooker, your top 4 just behind him. Couple of Pro Edge Racing cars, Matthew Weeks and Ethan Burrell. We will talk about Burrell here in just a moment after this. From there, you have Shane Terrion, a rookie, doing a great job here so far. He's been able to solidify himself as a talking point for the 2022 Season A for Elite Racing. And so glad to see or a rookie with yellow stripes, carrying that mantle so high so far in this season. Chad Frankenfield, Andrew Rucker, and Joshua Clark rounding off your top 10 in points. And then Hunter Smith, another rookie who's having a quietly good season for Little Eagle Racing here. That number 14 seems to, when he's on it, he seems to be on it. But when he's had some bad luck, it has not gone his way. Then Michael Goodman rounding out your top 12 positions here. Might have a little bit of a shuffle there, though, Dave, because we've just been ordered some breaking news into the studio, and actually some sad news to report. As always, you know, the Elite Racing Network, they pride themselves about being this camaraderie we have, you know, a big camaraderie amongst ourselves, you know, as drivers up in the booth here, broadcasters. There's just a fine union of men that, frankly, you don't really see at other leagues on iRacing, even real life. Tight-knit community that we have here for the Elite Racing Network is quite close. And I'm saddened to hear that last week's winner in this series, Ethan Burrell, who won your Coke 600, he is not going to be with us after tonight. This is going to be his final run. He's moving on to some bigger and better things in his personal life. Got a new job. And unfortunately, as much as we all love racing here, we also got to pay the real world bills, and real world will often come first versus the virtual world we love to bring you here on Wednesday nights. And so this will be the final time we see this 37 car. Quite the nice livery on that Toyota Camry for Pro Edge Racing. I'm sure he'll still be very much involved as a heavy hand owning Pro Edge Racing. And this man, one who I've been able to call a friend for over 8, perhaps going on 9 years, I am sad to know that he will no longer be a part of our Wednesday night broadcast. Every time he is on the Racecast, I'm telling you, my man E-Dog, as I like to call him, he's put on he has put on a show, and I'm proud for him, happy for him. He's moving on in life, and that's what we can all would want. And I know the brotherhood that he has behind, and everybody's rooting hard for him. And we will be sad to go. I actually heard jokingly there, Dave, we were just mentioning to me behind the scenes how some guy said that he shouldn't be racing here tonight so that he could go out a winner. I think he already has. He has nothing else left to prove there. That man is going to be a factor no matter what he is racing, and he will be full-time for the Truck Series on Monday nights here, but
Sunday
his
nights.
time Sunday nights, excuse me. Thank you. But his time on Wednesday nights will come to an end after this one, so we're hoping the best there for Ethan Burrell and that 37 machine.
Yeah, and I thought it was interesting too. Right after he announced that he was going to be leaving, he did also give a positive for everybody else in the Cup Series to say that there'll be a spot opening up because he was one of the top 12, and since he can't be moving on, everybody will be moving up, and that'll get shuffled out after Chad does the tally from tonight. But he was thinking about the other drivers as soon as he was announcing he was gone. So, class act.
So that will effectively move up the bump line there, by my calculation, just now starting power. Joshua Adams might be in. He is tied with Scott Crump, and it breaks that tiebreaker. However, we have not yet started the race. As you take a look on your screen of those championship standings right there, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup. I believe qualifying has finally ended. As we take a look there, I can unfortunately can't see the pole setter right there. Oh, look at that.
There he
RC
goes.
Anderson. Don't know if anybody saw that coming. I actually did. I think he was my dark horse pick there to perhaps try, as well as most of the field. He seems to know these road courses like the back of his hand. Winner a couple of weeks ago, I believe, at the last road course that we were at. Forgive me if I actually don't have that memorized. I think it might have been Watkins Glen. It might not. I just know that RC Anderson is normally a name we talk about a lot when we are turning left and right. Chad Thornquist, though, that 02 winner earlier this season, going to be at the front of the field with him. Tyler Fody, the pole sitter, or excuse me, the championship leader. Starting in third, David Tooker, coming on his outside, and then just behind him, Ethan Burrell for his final start. How about that? A top 5 start. Matthew Weeks, his teammate to the outside, Chad Frankenfield, Andrew Rucker, row number 4, then bringing up the last in row 10, Jesse Rasmus, and Nick Massey in that 48 car. Gerald Campbell and Joshua Clark are going to be just outside row number 5 there. Zach Evans doing a great job there, voice of the Truck Series. He's going to be starting there 13th. Vincent Isabella. I believe there actually might be a substitution for Vincent Isabella. I don't believe he is racing. I believe that is my good friend John piloting that car. I will work to get confirmation on that, but I did see something about a last-minute substitution in that 12 car there. We'll work to keep that story there and see what more is of it. Joshua Adams and Jeff Green, 2000 Xfinity Series champion in 16th. Richard Hines, Trevor Elam, Michael Goodman, and then Mark Rebellious in the 20th position. Just behind that, couple of rookies there. I see, oh, I'm sorry. As I was making a mental note, I actually exited off the screen. I think we're about to go racing there. Oh my goodness. Hope I can save my voice as well. This is a grueling 4-mile racetrack as you take a look at the rest of the running order. 14 turns here tonight, and again, 32 laps to decide. A fun flag going to be had at lap number 8. That will effectively mean that these guys will have a competition caution coming that time. You will not be able... Sorry, excuse me if you hear my dog.
I hear a squeaky toy.
A squeaky toy, my bad on that. But yeah, 14 turns, competitive caution coming out on lap number 8. The pit road will be closed on lap 5, though, so if there's going to be any type of strategy to be had there, perhaps people are thinking of trying to jump some track position, this is going to be a very much track position type track. You're going to want to get it in all that you can, so we'll see if anybody, perhaps in the back half of the field, trying to take advantage of that and perhaps stays out. Fuel window, kind of in the unknown territory there, Dave. I know you were listening in. Some of these guys haven't been able to do a full fuel run there. Just by practicing, just by how long this track is. And so in the real world, the Cup Series, using last year's car model and data, they were able to get about 17 to 19 laps. 32 minus 8 will put us at 24 with another lap of caution to be had. So that's going to put these guys, I believe, just right outside of their fuel window here. Everybody should be able to make it, though, if it hits lap, I would imagine, 12 to 13. 3 sets of tires going to be able to be permitted for these guys. And again, don't know if we're going to see much of the yellow flag after that fun flag unless there is a true track blocker or something that Racing Control will want to remedy. So with a road course, especially one of this size, things are going to get strung out and you're going to have a chance to get caught back up. You're going to have a chance to get caught back up, perhaps not in position if you get spun out, but a chance to weave yourself back onto the track if you find trouble there, as it'll be so long before the leader gets to you. This long carousel here, working on a lap or turn number 7, that is going to be a tricky spot. I heard a lot of drivers talking about that in the real world there. Then once you get kind of down this backstretch, there's a kink heading into turn 8. Pretty sizable here, and it's very, very tricky to be too wide. Drivers are going to be looking for passing zones all over this 4-mile racetrack. Dave, with the exception of R.C. Anderson, who is somebody you are keeping an eye on here as we're about half a lap from the green flag?
Probably be Tyler Fode. I think I've been picking him in most of the series all this week, and I've been pretty close, so I'll just stay with him. He also thinks there's a broadcaster curse against him, so I'm trying to prove that and see if it's not just Chris and Nick or if it's me as well. So.
Oh, I know with Rashav and I, the broadcaster curse is very much real. You don't want me to say, I'm sorry, R.C. Anderson, already. I'm just apologizing right now in case anything happens to that 50 car.
Yeah, in the F1 race, I think Nick, one of them picked, I think it was Chris picked him, and he made it a half a lap, so that was a pretty bad one.
We'll see who is going to make it a pretty good one. That course, K-on pace car about to make the right-hand turn onto pit road. Got to come up through the hill, and then as they crest the top of the hill, about another 200 yards before the start-finish line. round number 10, the penultimate race before we set the playoff grid for the Elite Racing Network is green, and already they are slicing and dicing their way, heading into turn number 1 with the green flag in the air. The Road America Challenge underway. One car, Thornquist, way into the gravel pit immediately. He misses turn 1. And my goodness, that was your outside pole setter with a big issue already in turn number 1. Go to the Whiskey Cash replay immediately. Take a look at this 0-2 from high above. He simply does not brake here. Gets into the grass. He's in trouble. And then that car practically doesn't even come to a stop. He's going to hit hard into the tire barrier there. Some significant damage. And one of the heavyweights, second already as we rejoin live action pictures, pressing into turn number 6, but already one competitor completely out of it. Now you see R.C. Anderson and Tyler Fody get in front of Ethan Burrell, who's been able to make up 2 spots since the drop of the green flag as well. Here is turn 7 into that long carousel I was talking to you guys about earlier. Race 1 of 37, excuse me, I mentioned 32 there earlier. I misspoke. These guys, especially with the amount of traffic on this course, a lot of these guys racing amongst traffic for the first time.
It's like we got a little off back here. Alec Balvans, the 5 car.
Take a look here. This is entering turn number 7, I believe. Does he make contact or no? He just goes off course, and he'll find the tire barrier hard into it. Oh,
then he hits Rexing
right there. Rexing goes around.
That's 3 cars off, the 92, the 5, and the 10, all off in that corner.
And you have to wonder if the 92
that's maybe it's the 26
of the 5, or excuse me, yes, I think that was the 26. Dallas My Hand with an issue right there. Oh my goodness. That was lap 1, folks. We have 36 more to go here tonight. Good news for these guys here. I don't know, Dave. This is something that's still new to me, and knowing if you need an immediate tow, is it an automatic time penalty on added?
Yeah, it'll have a
time there.
Yes, it'll have a hold time in the pits before it lets you go back out.
And I don't know exactly.
And it just depends on how much damage.
Depending on what the track is there too as well, because I was gonna say perhaps as we see Ethan Burrell under attack from Chad Frankenfield heading to turn 5. It is early. Looks like Frankenfield is going to get that position right there. But an immediate tow, especially that early. This is a long course. I mean, it takes about 2 minutes to get around here. So the day might not be done, although the damage is certainly heavy for both those competitors that nosed in deep into the virtual tire barrier there. Thornquist, I am very surprised by that, especially after the great run he had in qualifying.
Yeah, it looks like we currently have 3. My Hand, Rexing, and Harrison Talon are still sitting in pit lane. Alvans looked like he didn't have any damage, so he just carried on. He did not tow back. And I believe the same thing. Yeah, Rexing 26 with the other car that was involved, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they got back going.
They're back on track. Chad Frankenfield still winless this season. No, he's head of this league. He would like nothing more than to break out with a win, and he's had some consistency going with him. If he takes a look there, David Tooker, also another driver with real world experience on road courses there. Always see him and his Miata on his Snapchat. If you follow him on Instagram there, he in Sonoma seem to get along quite well, and that will translate very well into the virtual side of things here, especially at a road course such as Road America. He's running along in the 3rd position there, giving chase to Tyler Fody in that 40 car. R.C. Anderson's been able to break away about a 5-car length lead in front of that 40 car. You see David Tooker, though, about to feel the pressure, it looks like, from Chad Frankenfield, who's slowly but surely working his way back into the picture. They've been able to kick Ethan Burrell back to 5th place, as the front 5 beginning to say sayonara to the rest of the field. Take a look at the car that is right behind Ethan Burrell. I believe that might be Matthew Weeks. It is in that 11 car. Take a look at that paint scheme there. Definitely different.
Yep, we got Nick Massey going off track.
Oh, and he has come to a stop. Don't know exactly where that is.
We can back up and see how he got there.
Looks like he's going to, that could be entering turn 2.
Loses the back end.
Yeah. Is that wheel hop? Can these guys feel that wheel hop perhaps a little bit?
Yeah, they can, definitely. Get back under the power.
And this has to be crucial. Like, you have to wait for all this traffic to clear itself before you even get up and back on the course. And then you have to get up through the gears and go back up to speed. So Nick Massey adding insult to injury, waiting for all that traffic to go by. Yeah, there are 4 cars up my screen that have not even made a lap since the start of the green flag. We're working lap number 3. As Chad Frankenfield's now been able to get to the back bumper of the 19. Perhaps we can ride on board. Yes, you read my mind there, Dave. Take a look at that back end of the Toyota Camry as they roll through this very long straightaway here. About 150 feet there before the top of the hill. And then again, another 200 yards I heard on the broadcast to the start-finish line. You're packing a pretty heavy punch there before entering turn 1, and as we saw with Thornquist, our outside pole sitter early, it's very easy to perhaps overdrive it and find yourself in trouble, not only in that turn, but also heading to turn 5. Another one of these passing zones here, if you can get to the inside. Something I heard Dale Jr. mention about this racetrack here from the NBC broadcast in the real world about how Road America opens up the ability to have passing on both left and right lane. Like, there's no defined kind of advantage for being on the inside or outside here. You can make both lanes work to your advantage or to another competitor's disadvantage if you know where to put up your car. He thinks that was a key in making Road America so fun to drive versus some of the other road courses here, where if you find yourself in a outside lane, you're pretty much yielding that position to the guy that's challenging.
Tyler Fody get close up here, I think. Hooker's right on his back bumper.
R.C. Anderson still beginning to pull away. This is a good, close battle here for the second position. Through that carousel here where you have to just feather the gas. And I mean, it is a long carousel. You are turning for a good, I would say, 4 or 5 seconds, which is an eternity in these race cars in the opposite direction that most of these drivers don't really feel before. Hey, let's add that kink on the back stretch as well. Coming to one of those passing zones here. Turn 9, really have to be close to a competitor right here. Looks like 19 wasn't able to do so and take advantage of that. And he also has to worry about, I always feel myself there, Dave, if I'm racing in a position in the middle of a three-way battle for position here, I often don't want to be literally in the middle, because if you make a mistake, then you got the guy that's right behind you ready to pounce. You're also trying to force the guy that's in front of you into a mistake, so.
Yeah, you try not to drive looking in your mirrors, but you really can't help it.
Got to protect that lane as the front 3 are still, excuse me, front 4, but you see R.C. Anderson actually has put himself away. Working lap number 5, I believe at the end of lap 5, once that is complete, once R.C. Anderson there decides to come in, and that would mean any driver really behind him would need to go in now, as they're not going to be able to leapfrog the leader before pit road is going to be closed, and you will not be able to add fuel or tires.
Looks like Chad Thornquist dove in.
Imagine so. We'll see if that is going to be a track position strategy here. He has some heavy damage. So take a look at the front end. They're completely missing turn 1, but yes, this is one of those competitors that I believe he he wants to fix. Perhaps he'll still plan on going in, but he wants to fix all the damage as he can. And why not there, Dave? I mean, this is going to be a long pit stop here. This is probably one of the, if not the only track, this Road America, or excuse me, Circuit of the Americas, and I believe Mid-Ohio might be some of the longest tracks that we go to where you can have a lengthy pit stop probably in the minute range and not go a lap down. So that's probably going to aid Chad Thornquist as he tries to remedy what happened to him on lap 1. Apologies for the dog there behind. That is just celebrating his first birthday, able to turn 1 this year. So happy to see him. He turned 1 actually during the Cup race at Talladega, so that was pretty fun.
What'd you get for his birthday?
He got a bone. He was very, very happy. I myself, unfortunately, I was not able to see him as much because I was actually at Talladega there, and I had a very unique opportunity to do something of which I am very thankful to do as we take a look and see, ooh, this 96 car. I believe this is heading into turn 6. That was a trouble spot where we found him around beforehand. Yes. Car's just going to lock up. We saw another competitor right in front of him get in the grass. Is that Thornquist again? I believe that was the 0-2 there.
Yeah, I believe you're right.
Oh, it has not been Chad's night. Apparently, the only hot lap he has had was that one in qualifying because the laps that we're watching have not been good for that 0-2
he needs to have a word with his brake guy, I think, is his problem.
Go ahead and join back to the action here, working lap number 6. But as I was saying there, Dave, I had an incredible opportunity to learn from one of the best MRN announcers ever, in my opinion. I was able to shadow Mike Bagley as he called the action for the Cup Series in turn 3 at Talladega. And let me tell you, that racetrack is it's already unlike anything that we go to. But to witness that while listening to a bona fide race announcer here called the action, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing there. I'm so thankful for that opportunity, and I'm hoping that what I was able to learn from him that day, I'm able to transfer to you guys back at home, because it was just amazing.
Yeah, I saw some of your pictures on social media, and it looked pretty cool.
Those guys, what they do, as we see David Tooker all over the back of Tyler Fody right now. Looks like he might be able to get him here.
Like
into the back stretch. He shows that he has that position under braking, but you see the 40 car not going to give up easily. Trying to get their side draft a little bit, but he's going to lose that position. Now he's in protection mode, but it looks like the 15 at Chad Frankenfield says he wants that. They're working turn number 14, and you see David Tooker actually try and set sail. Frankenfield, though, was not able to complete the pass in turn 14. I'll have to line him up and try it again. I'll have 2 laps to do it before that competition yellow comes out. Take a look at some of the battles there beyond the top 6. How about in 7th place there? As we take a look. Yes. There's Tate Lytle, our defending series champion. Winless so far this year, but having a great run here so far. And he's just behind his teammate there. He's been able to race with Matthew Weeks. Those guys have settled it in amongst themselves there, having a good run. You know, so there's something to be said about just having a good, clean run and nobody around you. You know, especially if you're going to race with somebody, have your teammate right there. And look at it. I mean, these guys are practically in a different zip code by themselves. No one really in front of them. No one really behind them. And I always felt myself, you know, I'm just at ease. I can run my race. I can run good rhythm. Rhythm's so important here, especially at a road course there.
Looks like we got Cody Harrington went off here.
Whiskey Cast replay. This entering turn number 5. Oh, just back on the gas and into the tire barrier hard. The rookie goes. A lot of front end damage on that 66 car. Unfortunate. Just as we were showing that Whiskey Cash replay, it looked like 56 Tate Lytle able to take the 6th position away from his teammate. So they might be by themselves, but don't let it fool you. They're still racing. In that 56 car, he wanted that spot. He took it. Just behind them, we see, I believe, actually, yeah, let's go back. We'll take it through the field here. As the caution flag is out. This is just before the lap 8. So don't know if there was actually an issue there. Or it
didn't
was
have an
accident.
accident.
Lap
So.
8. There was a big slide here.
Riding on board with RC to see. Well, I was trying to see if he was coming across the start-finish line that made the flag come out, but I don't have any other action.
It was on our screen. It did show lap 7 before it went to lap 8, so it could have been.
Yeah, Rucker had an off course, but nothing that would brought out the yellow.
These guys seem to be finding themselves in trouble under braking. And that's something here with this race car and this package, perhaps. We've had this next-gen car for now. This is the 2nd season for the Elite Racing Network, but they're still very much learning behind the wheel. As road course aces of this series seem to find themselves nose to tail once more. RC Anderson and David Tooker. When it comes to turning right and left on Wednesday nights, there are no two better than what we have running 1-2.
Since we have a yellow flag and it may be the only one we get, I'll go through the sponsors tonight. We have JoinAPS, which is the sponsor for the series. JoinAPS offers a complete solution for all types of businesses that need to process credit card-related transactions. Their industry-specific solutions provide the best options for your business model. They have experienced client service representatives who understand that what your processing needs are. It's JoinAPS. And then we have our 3 premier sponsors that sponsor every league in Elite and help us do what we do on a daily basis. C2 Freight. C2 Freight offers complete freight management services. They're ready to meet your needs today as well as your changing needs in the future. With thousands of qualified carriers in their database, they're capable of handling shipping for every type of goods, from perishable foods to office equipment. Whatever you need to ship, they have access to the necessary equipment, including flatbeds, double drops, vans, tankers, refrigerated equipment, multi-axle heavy haulers, dump trucks, auto carriers, intermodal containers, and more. That's C2 Freight. Our second premier partner is Blue Egg Marketing. Blue Egg Marketing, they are the marketing department for small businesses. For small business owners, Blue Egg is your biggest fan. And finally, our last premier partner, Powerhouse Recycling. Powerhouse Recycling strives to offer the highest level of customer service in the industry for each load process time and time again. Attainable account representatives, prompt and on-time pickups, customized recycling solutions keep Powerhouse Recycling as North Carolina market leader in customer service. They strongly believe through their customer service, customized recycling, and complete transparency that we can earn and keep your client's business and hold longevity in our business relationships. So a big thank you to all of our sponsors who let us do what we do and have fun on a daily basis.
Big thank you indeed. Pit road about to be a very busy place, I would expect. 8 laps in the books. Looks like some of these drivers that have had issues still on pit road there, including that may have been the I think the 02, I don't know. But yes, this might be the only time we see a yellow flag here tonight. Before the rest of the field goes green, and that means we will have over 30 laps, or about just under 30 laps, excuse me, of green flag racing, and I would expect these guys to have to come down pit road at least once in order to make it to the end.
Looks
Four
like they
tires,
did
Sunoco
have
fuel.
one
I'm going
car
to go
stay
in.
out.
Ooh, who was that?
If I had to guess, I would say it was Chad Thornquist, and yes, that is correct. No, he came in. He's not behind the pit car.
Oh, he is. I do see
Yeah,
him
okay,
on the
yeah,
track.
yes, he's the one and only that did not come in. And that would make sense since he just came in like 3 laps ago.
Racing a modified there. We'll have to see, though, what the damage is like. I know on some tracks, you can fix the damage enough to, put back on the hood. He obviously has not been able to reach that capacity yet as far as damage. So that car not 100% than the others that will be right behind him on fresher tires as well. So this will be an interesting restart, perhaps the only restart of the night for that 02 car. I like the call. Why not after the disastrous start he has had to this race, but will it be enough to keep that car up front? That's going to be a tall order.
And this will be a long yellow flag because they still have one more lap to let the lucky dog make his way around. So we'll probably have 2 to go at the line.
Or maybe 1 to go if there's going to be somebody else there.
Yeah, I think it's 2. It's what I hear in driver chat because they still don't have the lucky dog out of the pits yet.
Wow. All right. Well, if that is going to be the case, we'll take a break. Just usually to help me, not just rambling for 2 laps under caution at Road America. But don't go anywhere here. The action, as you take a look at the upcoming broadcast there to the left of your screen, we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Road America Challenge here live on the Elite Racing Network. Working perhaps our only caution of the night. Competitive caution coming up on lap number 8. Up front, same front row of what we had to start the race here. However, kind of tell a different stories there. The pole setter going to be on the outside. He is the second place car, the 02 Thornquist. Been credited with leading a lap. Heavy damage after missing turn 1. We'll see what happens this time around. We are going to go green with 26 laps to go. Lap 11 as they crest the hill. RC Anderson spins the tires, and Thornquist is away. David Tooker now on the inside with help from Chad Frankenfield. Thornquist, though, wounded. Will it be enough to stop that 19 car? It won't. David Tooker.
Oh, Thornquist around.
As Thornquist goes around again in turn 1. That car was just heavily damaged. It was asking a lot of it to be out front. And we saw how quickly the 19, the 50, and the 15 were able to dispose of him before that 02 car went around. And so Thornquist just not going to have the type of night he expected at all in that 02. David Tooker, though, with help from the 02 and the fact that the 50 car did spin the tires.
Ooh, Ethan locking it up inside.
As you see Ethan Burrell actually take a big lock up there, heading into turn 5, now working turn number 6. Under pressure and fire from the 56 car, Tate Lytle will have the advantage this time around. No, he drops the wheel into the grass. That's going to allow the 37 car to cleanly get back in the gas as they work toward turn 7 and 8. Another heavy braking zone on this course, and another place we've seen cars have trouble so far. Everybody's been able to get through pretty cleanly the top dozen or so cars of the field. RC Anderson trying to give chase to David Tooker through the carousel, working turns 9 and 10. Then the kink, also noted as a turn, just how abrupt it is on this backstretch there before they get to number 12. Oh, Tate Lytle.
Way off.
Find the grass in the kink. He'll hang on. Couple of blue ovals giving chase behind the Toyota of David Tooker, who's looking to try and lead his first lap of the night. RC Anderson, though, not going to let him get away. Not just yet. Anderson now still on the back bumper. Back up to speed and through the gears there as see some commotion there behind these guys. But our Anderson has been able to really pick up the draft. He's cut that lead down. He'll take a look to the inside, and he wants the lead back as they enter into turn number 1. Heavy braking zone. Will he clip or miss the corner? No, looks like David Tooker was able to give him the spot, and now the 19 back in the second position. Chad Frankenfield up to 3rd.
Like we have a little action back in the pack. Matthew Weeks off track.
It was running inside the top 10 when this broke out in turn number 1. That seems to be Calamity Corner.
Stay off the tires.
Is he going to be able to keep it off the wall? He does, but a lot of lock up there. Have to wonder, did he hurt the tires there? Oh, he joined the action. David Tooker with a slide out of turn 5. Whew. Dave, normally, I say when it was 26 laps to go, this is where Rashav and I usually celebrate. We're like, yay.
Starting to breathe easy.
Starting to breathe, but no, these guys, it's still very much more than half this race here to complete. And now the question is, if we have indeed seen our last caution flag, when will we expect these guys back? I was doing the math there under break, and I believe with about 13 to go, we cut this stage in half. And I use stage as a reference to just this portion of the race. But it would be lap 13, or excuse me, 13 to go, not lap 13. For these guys to get on pit road if they want to split this portion of the race in half. Digga, go. Babe, can you call? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just one sec as Digga continues to annoy.
flip out and take a little static look here, and you can watch the cars go by. I like this camera angle. It's always pretty good. Gives you kind of an idea of the speed. Some of the beautiful rolling elevation changes at Road America. Field's starting to spread out a little bit. Not a lot of close battle there. If we look back at Jesse Rasmus just got by Vincent Isabella. A little bit of a pack back here.
Things are heating up here deep in this field. I always say the guys in the bottom half of the field are racing harder as we got one car. Oh my goodness, Michael Goodman in the 44 is around in turn 1.
I think he got collected with Rucker.
Another.
Maybe this starts with Andrew Rucker going off.
Let me tell you, if there is a car to have trouble, Michael Goodman is going to be the next car to find it.
Well, he's off and okay, so I don't see what happened here.
Did he get on the brakes?
Yeah, he went right.
Yes, see? Exactly. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, that'll get tempers flaring.
And that's just unfortunate there. Goodman, wrong place, wrong time, like we have seen time after time after time with that 44 car. Michael Hossack was a bit of a slide to avoid both of them.
Michael Goodman, see what he saw as he came around the corner.
This is just a position where you're really not expecting a stopped car, especially if you're already committed to your line. But yes,
and then he moves.
He does move, and we've seen some severe, what would you call that? There's severe penalties for moves like that.
Yeah, severe damage penalty.
One perhaps, severe damage penalty. We'll see if perhaps Racing Control calls one on that 64 car there. That's a tough spot because automatically you think perhaps you are already in the way. As we see this 95 car, Nick Massey, who had been around early in this race as well, trying to regain some lost ground. He's back up inside the top 10. There's Joshua Adams in that 95 car just behind him.
Right behind them is Robert Hill Jr. He's new to the series. This is his first race tonight. Not new to iRacing or to Elite, but I think he's just joined the series tonight.
Canadian there doing a great job so far. Keeping most of the fenders on it. Don't see a lot of damage on that 05 car. Some to the rear, but still racing inside the top dozen cars in the field. So welcome to Elite there, Robert Hill Jr.
He joined Pro Edge Racing, so that's always a good one to join.
Oh yeah, might be taking over that 37 car, perhaps. Who knows?
Yeah, they may have had a little heads up on it.
So just outside of the top dozen cars, as we take a look at the second and third position, this battle will not quit. Chad Frankenfield wants it in the worst way against David Tooker. R.C. Anderson, though, in that 50. Well, I just expected it to be blazingly fast. If it's going to come down to some type of penalty, we'll see if also lap traffic will play a factor. With the pace that these guys are settling, we will see these guys catch the back half of the field if it goes green, which is actually, considering everything on this road course, 4-mile track, that is quite a feat. But that's just, I believe, the pace being placed down by that 50 car. Real world record for the Cup Series here was placed by William Byron, who got the pole at Road America last year. As we see Zach Evans and Jesse Rasmus, drop a wheel just out of the curbing. That'll get your attention there. And you saw Zach Evans with a big miscue in turn 11. He'll catch part of the kink. He'll lose that spot, perhaps even more, as they head into turn number 12. Heavy braking zone. There is the 38 car. Zach Evans still losing spots. 12 is going to go by him as well. And again, I'm not sure if that is Vincent Isabella or not. I was told that it could have been John.
Vincent's always very vocal in the driver chat, and it's been kind of quiet. So That's not definitive data. That's just anecdotal observation.
Yeah, I like it. Oh, the
Whoa,
05 Robert Hill Jr. big miscue in turn 1. Can he keep it from getting into the tire barrier? He does. He'll keep his foot in it. Drive it out of the gravel trap. Thankful.
Don't drive in front of anybody. There you
Keep
go.
the car out of harm's way there and back on the road course. Big slide there. Let's see if we can take a look at the route. Oh my goodness. Is that Joshua Clark? It is in turn 2. That is a couple of Pro Edge racing cars having trouble. We take a look and see Joshua Clark. Yes, under braking and then just gets into the grass. The car goes around there, but the wild ride that we want to see there, that 05. Take a look at what took place there, and once again, turn number 1. Fastest part of this raceway. He's
that looks
already
like Chad
in trouble. He misses his
Thornquist.
braking zone. Yep. You miss your braking zone, you are along for the ride. Thankfully, this is going to end a lot better than what we saw with that 02. Maybe it has something to do with that O in that number there.
He used all the sand.
Robert Hill Jr., he used every bit of it, but at least he still has the race car with all the fenders on it. Can't say the same for that 02 car. He's able to merge successfully as well back onto the racing surface and not take out anybody. So, all things considered, I'd give that an 8 out of 10. You know?
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Welcome to the Elite there, Robert. Chad Frankenfield's been able to get around the 19, but
Hooker's
what
not
is
giving
going
it up.
to happen here as the 19 once again goes to the inside that he wants that spot back. And is this is not a battle for the win? Is that RC?
Yeah, that's
back?
lead. Yep.
Is
lead.
this so? Something has happened to RC Anderson there during all that chaos.
Yeah, let
He
me
is
look
falling
back. He
to
had
the
a
fourth spot.
looks like he had an off track. Let's take a look and see what happened to him.
Yes. So as we continue to watch that battle for the lead, we got RC Anderson, who was in a different zip code, has now melded himself back into the clutches of these front 4 as he goes off course, and just like that, does the road course not demand your attention 100% there, Dave? Not even
Can't take a corner off.
the leader. Can you take a break?
And there you saw Chad and Tooker both going by, and Fody as well. So Enerson back to 4th.
Good news is he did not make any significant contact with any barrier, and so if he's able to have another clean round, he's worked his way back up. He just added some drama for us to talk about there, and I think we'll be able to talk about it because he is still well within the picture.
He was kind of teasing the drivers during practice. He was saying that he was not feeling up to snuff, and he thought that he might just take the green and park, and they started telling him it was going to be the easiest $50 he ever made, because $50 goes to the winner tonight for this being the 100th Cup race in the Elite Series. But it looks like now he's in it.
Centennial here. Yeah, that is a lot of money here. Shoot, $50. You know what I could do with that back in my day? I'll tell you.
Look at the league owner wanting to not give that money out. Chad's wanting to keep that money in his pocket.
We will definitely be doing an investigative journalism piece in case the 15 does win this race. No stone goes unturned here. We'll make sure that that wasn't just a, deeper dive. A major setup for that 15 car to keep the money. But so far, he's putting his money where his mouth is. And that's up front. Oh, David Tooker with a big slide in turn 2. Gonna lose a little bit of time. See the front 4. These guys are consistently in, I believe, the 216 to 215 second bracket range here. Everybody else kind of, I'd imagine, 220s. And then some of those guys in the back half of the field, definitely the 225s and 230s. These guys are setting up a blistering pace here. And R.C. Anderson, I mean, it's not a question of if, but when. However, he's now been put back in traffic. And as I like to say, catching is one thing, passing is another.
He took a whole second off of Fody in that last lap.
Insane speed out of that 50 car as he chases that 40 car. They're all chasing the 15 though. Tad Frankenfield, who's up front, taking a look at some of the drivers there behind. Let's take a look and see, I don't know, maybe the 15th or 16th position there. Just want to make sure we give some ample time to everybody. That would be Robert Hill and Andrew Rucker. They have both had some off track excursions, if you will. Just behind them, I think that's Zach Evans. Joshua Clark, who was also had an issue there. He's running along in the 17th position. 18th going to be Jeff Green, Do Good Motorsports.
He's been pretty quiet back there.
Yeah, kind of having a good day. But Michael Hossack, he was able to split that one wreck we saw earlier in turn 1. There's been a lot of them. I just know he was in the middle and on the racetrack there, so he did a nice job. Wyatt Canadle, that 84 car. Don't know if road courses are much his forte, but he's been able to keep all the fenders on it. Then Britt Jones in that 89 car as well, from the Crummy Electronic race team. Seen that Bitcoin, unfortunately, car go around as well. 87 Richard Hines, he looks like he's had a clean day so far, but not really the place he wants to be. Scott Haney in that 3 car.
A little damage there on the right side hood.
Yes. So he's had contact, and then definitely what we see, Cody Harrington, he has had significant contact as he goes off course again. Michael Goodman there has to wonder what might have been had he not found the front end of Andrew Rucker. Not by my count, it looks like he is not. We've not heard anything from Race Control about a penalty there, so that's unfortunate. Matthew Weeks, though, we have to wonder if did he pit? Because he's now right behind him, and he's in ninth. Oh, I'm sorry. These guys
I think he's lapping him.
lapped.
Yep, they're lapping him.
Just lapped.
Harrington's the last car in the lead, or Goodman's the last car in the lead lap.
So, wow. Those cars rooted Michael Goodman. I'm telling you, he deserves the Patience Award because I've lost it for him just watching his season. Ethan Burrell trying to walk away from the Pro Edge and the Elite series here tonight with a top 5. Winner of the Coke 600 just a couple of weeks ago. And that's a hard one. Myself, unfortunately, I had another batter I could not attend, but that is, anytime you can win a race such as the 600, a full distance 600, you have done something.
Yeah, it was a long night of battling.
Heck, I'll be going to the real 600 with my dad in May, coming up in just a couple weeks, and I don't know if I'm looking forward to that.
Say, do you get races you get to go to where you're not working?
Yeah, there are races. I'm just like, I went to Talladega. I was not working that one.
Oh,
I
okay.
had that one off, and I was able to. I've been able to, thankfully, something that's been pretty cool is just I have my hard card, and so I've been able just to go to racetracks and just really go and just see from the inside the entire racetrack. Like Talladega was just incredible. I hope to get that experience with Atlanta coming up. I was able to drive there too. I just went there as a racing fan. But yeah, I don't know the next actually racetrack where I'm going to be working at. That I don't know, but the next two on my list will be Darlington and Bristol. So come by and say hi if you're going to any one of those there. I'd love to say hi. Always love meeting new people. Are you planning on going to any race this year, Dave?
I'm mostly an IndyCar fan, so I'm actually going to Barber Motorsports this weekend. I'll be down there for 4 days with some buddies, and then the month of May, I don't live far from Indianapolis Motor Speedway, so I spend probably a good 7 or 8 days at the track. I know it makes Chad jealous that I'm able to spend that much time. So,
oh, yeah, it makes any racing fan jealous. As we see, oh my goodness, a bump! Ethan Burrell hangs on, but it's going to be Tate Lytle finding the gravel pit and the tire barrier in turn 12. Thankfully, he did not end the night for that 37 car. That was a moment between Pro Edge Racing teammates right there. Don't want to take out your boss on this very last start. And I think Tate Lytle did everything he could in order to make sure that indeed did not happen. Gets in there just a little bit too hot. And I think even at the end of that, we have slowed it down, but that was a moment. I'm pretty sure. I mean, you can even see, I think Ethan, either he got on the brake sooner than what the 56 was expecting, or the 56 just flat out missed his braking zone. Thankfully for both cars, though, they're able to drive away from the scene without an issue. They're kind of hurt for pride as we see Nick Massey. He'll go for a slide into the gravel pit. Let me tell you, it is a good thing it is virtual here tonight, because they would have had to bring out the caution to clean up all the gravel that would be on the racetrack.
Yeah, he slid right through
in
that
real
corner.
world.
That was our closest battle, and everybody's kind of spread out now and have multiple seconds between each other. Fody just got by Tooker, though.
Oh, David Tooker with a spin and some damage on that 19 car.
A lot of damage. Let's take a look and see what happened.
This is heading into, I believe, turn 6. Yes, he gets back on the gas. The car just comes around. He gets on the rumble strip. Car comes around. He loses traction, and then, yes, he noses it in, and there is no tire barrier to kind and absorb the hit. That is straight up concrete that will never work well if you hit it at speed in this race car there. And so David Tooker, perhaps the closest competitor to try and challenge for the lead with RC Anderson, finds himself with some heavy nose damage, and his shot to win perhaps could be out the window as well. He's fallen back into the clutches of Ethan Burrell, who's now trying to solidify that top 5 by taking that spot away.
Anderson was able to get by Fody. He is back up to second now. He's about 2 seconds behind Chad.
Anderson going to keep Chad honest there. Frankenfield's been able to stretch out that lead a little bit, but now, with Tooker not in the way, he just has nothing but clean racetrack, and we saw what Anderson could do chasing 40. You said he picked up at one point a second. Taking a look at these lap times there, with 17 laps to go. Also, a pit stop.
Yeah, it looks like he has the speed to run down.
When do you decide to go? If you're the 15 versus the 50, do you try to undercut here and leapfrog him in the pits, or do you wait for him to go in first, save your tires for later, and go in after him?
I think you want to be first on pit road. I would want to be.
If I knew I had a better car, I think I would be on the offense and do that as well, but I think the 15 has to play defense here, and I think I would want better tires at the end. And so if the 50 car goes in first, I might wait one lap and then go in right after him. I guess it depends on if he's in front of me or not there as well, too. I don't know. These are questions. All questions about to be answered here in 17 laps. But let's go ahead and take a quick break. We'll leave you with some static pictures of just the rest of the field flying by. Hopefully nothing happens with the leader. But before those pit stops go, we'll take a break right here. So don't go anywhere. You're watching race number 10, the Elite Racing Network JoinAPS.com Cup Series. Welcome back to Road America. As you were on board with Chad Frankenfield, why you can never keep your eye off the ball. Take a look at this. This happened right in front of the leader, Chad Frankenfield here, going through. I think this is on the front stretch, so we might be a little bit behind as we speed things up. But take a look at that lap car right in front of him, entering turn 13, and then as he gets onto the front stretch after turn 14, he makes the corner. Chad Frankenfield does. The car in front of him does not. Gets on the rumble strips and then goes for a big slide. The car careens back. Thankfully, he's able to get through before any major issue. But that was your leader there, folks. Big moment for Chad Frankenfield as he works his way. Now, I believe we believe he might be onto pit road. During that extended green flag break, we saw R.C. Anderson dive onto pit road. So he now has fresher tires, and if I am the 15 at Chad Frankenfield, I would be a bit concerned because I'd like to know what the tire wear is versus what in the lap times on that 50 car versus what he's laying down right now. And so I would expect, with the amount of time that Frankenfield has been on the racetrack there, once he does decide to go down pit road, this is now one lap, now two, after R.C. Anderson has decided to go. Those new tires are definitely going to show themselves as far as being able to run him down and pass him on pit road. We'll see what happens here as he returns back to the front stretch right here. And if he stays out, splitting this stage in half would be lap 13, but yep, just as I was talking about, he is going to go ahead and pit, and I believe that is the right call. You don't want to get too out of touch as far as your strategy is with the guy that you're practically really racing. That'll hand the lead to Tyler Fody. He'll get a lap lead for the first time here tonight. $14 laps to go, and these are what is expected to be the final pit stops for all these guys. Point leader doing an excellent job. He's been able to lead a lap, I believe, every race we've come to. He's been building up those points. And tonight, no exception. 40 car going to be the lead car on the board for at least one of those laps here. Dave, we have the month of May coming up here. That's exciting in the real world here, but also some exciting things going on for the Elite Racing League. Why don't you talk us through at least the big one that's going to be happening?
Yeah, the biggies are going to started happening. Yesterday was the opening practice for the Indy 500, and practice 2, I believe, is going on right now for another 15 minutes in another lobby. And then Friday night, we'll have the Friday night actually starting at 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern time will be qualifying. I think there are 66 entries now. We had an addition this afternoon. Santino Ferrucci is going to attempt to make the field, so he's going to be the 66th entry that's trying to get in. We will be broadcasting the last hour of qualifying, which includes the Fast 9 and any bumping that goes on. And the last one, I've been able to watch a couple of those now, and they're very exciting as far as just qualifying, because they do qualify with 4-lap averages and a lot of strategy and pulling your times and stuff, and then it goes on. Then we'll have Carb Day and have a Carb Day event where we have some fun events where they just run USF and Pro 2000 for a lot of the drivers across all our leagues. And then May 6th, if you're not busy, watch May 6th for the full-length Indy 500. It'll be on a Friday night, and we'll have the voice of the IndyCar radio, Mark Janes, will be in the booth with us, and it should be an exciting night.
An exciting one indeed. I know any motorsports fan is a lover of the month of May, and it kicks off early, May 6th. Mark your calendars. That should be an exciting one. 13 laps to go. Here, the magic number. That will be the number that brings the 40 car onto pit road. R.C. Anderson has been able to leapfrog perhaps the 15 to Chad Frankenfield. I think he will do so.
Yeah, RC ran a 2:12 last lap, fastest lap of the race.
My goodness. That's 2 seconds faster than the real world Cup Series time. 2:14 by William Byron for qualifying.
So he came in 2 laps before Chad and was able to stretch out a 5-second lead after that. So a strong undercut.
Very strong. And the difference between $50 staying in Chad's pocket and him handing over the check to that guy in that 50 car. You saw how much of a disadvantage it was for Tyler Forde to stay out that long. I mean, he was still getting service done to the right side of the car when the 50 blew by him.
Closest battle on the track right here.
Matthew Weeks and the rookie getting after it here, battle for 7th place. Again, I think Matthew has had a pretty good life. He's only had, every time I've seen him, he's had 1 car in his shot, whether it be a lap car or somebody that he's actually racing position there. Earlier was Tate Lytle, but again, no one really in front of him, no one really behind him. I believe this is just the type of race you would want if you're not necessarily known as a road course ringer, per se. Don't usually have the best of days on road courses. This is an exciting and well worked for finish to have. Sometimes you just want to bring home the car in one piece, not have any issue. And that looks to be the day for both the 83 and the 11 car so far.
Also, all the other leagues in Elite are also at Indianapolis for the month of May. I know we ran IRP in trucks coming up, and we've had a Grand Nationals were at IRP, so we'll run just about every track there is. The road course will get run, I think, twice as well. So if there's a track in around the Indianapolis metro area, Elite's going to run it within the next couple weeks.
Oh, my goodness. Going to be a busy month for a lot of these drivers here.
Got Joshua Clark with an off. What happened to him?
Oh, is this the dreaded turn 14 or turn 1? From high above, it really is kind of hard. Or turn 2. I think that is turn 2. And yes, we've seen him go around just like that before. "12 laps to go, and I believe the lead has stabilized over the 15 of Chad Frankenfield. Continues to be about 5 seconds. And how about the run seen for R.C. Anderson? Had that off excursion that saw him drop from 1st to 4th. Thankfully, didn't do any damage to the race car. And now, through the use of pit road, undercutting, not really, I wouldn't even say severely, just 2 laps before the 15, making the most time on those fresh tires there. Enough to put a 5-second gap. And he has been the fastest car all night long. As we take a look and see what happened to Chad Frankenfield, his closest competitor. Michael Hossack in front of him? No! The 15 just gets back in the gas a little bit too early. He'll lose at least a second because of that move, but he's still in 2nd place.
Like Nick Massey got around Shane Theory.
Yes, and just a second ago we saw, I believe it was the 11 car, right? With that 83 car. Don't know actually where he went.
He went on up past Massey. So he's up here running by himself like you.
Oh, there it is.
Now he's really by himself.
Yeah, he really is by himself. Yeah. This is like, again, if I were to run a road course, this is how I would want it to be there, Dave.
There's 25 seconds up the road to Tate and 10 seconds back to Nick. So, yeah. He may never see another car.
I'd be like, popping an audible. Let me catch up on my podcast. Let me hit my marks. Let me bring the thing home. Like, great day so far for that 11 car.
Yeah, no real action to show you that of anything, anybody getting anywhere close to anyone. He's
Next
about
time by,
to
it'll
close
be
it.
10 laps to go. And with R.C. Anderson doing a job at lapping this joint at just over 2 minutes there, I mean, we're really taking a look at what could be less than 22 laps of green flag action. 22 minutes, excuse me, of green flag action.
So Chad Thornquist has now checked into the chat room on YouTube, and he says, safe to say I should have taken the day off. First time it was into one was me not paying attention to the braking zone. Second time was me shifting into first by mistake.
My goodness.
That's a rough night.
That is. But hey, sometimes
He'll live to fight another day.
Yep, you have those days. You learned from those days. Now, I know not every driver wants to have those days, but those are few and far between for Chad Thornquist, who is third in the championship battle picture with 1 win so far.
Like we got 26 cars still on the track. About 4 of them on the lead lap. Oh, maybe no. 16.
Chad Frankenfield now about 6 seconds, I believe, behind R.C. Anderson. There's Anderson now at the top of the hill. And yeah, that was a guy, you know, it's still not over. There's still 14 turns. That's 140 turns to go. And that time I was able to do quick math. I'm impressed. I just had to do that times 10. So.
Well, we've seen all it takes is RC just missing one corner, and everybody's right back on him.
Two of them like that, and this thing is very much not over yet. But so far, my pick, which low-hanging fruit, as Fox sometimes referred to, especially with Clip Boyer being able to pick within a credit 1 to go or watch. But I did think R.C. Anderson, I mean, normally when we talk about these road courses, that 50 car is just on another level. We know that he does this in real life there. He's able to methodically work his way. He's very he's very in tune with his race car, knows how to follow the rhythm of a racetrack, and that's rhythm so important, so needed to run these road courses here. You cannot run a road course and not have good rhythm. Got to know when the car wants to naturally shift up, and especially with sequential shifters here. There are 5 gears in this car versus 4 from last year. All that playing a factor, and this guy's been able to master it all every single time we come to a road course here.
Here's a battle for position. Robert Hill Jr. and Andrew Rucker.
What position is this for?
For 11th and 12th.
Ah. So, as we mentioned there, both these guys had gone off. Robert Hill was a big time moment in turn 1.
Oh, there's an Austin Haney in front of him. Scott Haney.
In the 3 working lap or turn 5. But yeah, Robert Hill Jr., new addition to Pro Edge Racing, might be taking over for Ethan Burrell, who we've already documented having his last night. In fact,
Goodman off.
Another competitor.
That was Michael Goodman.
44 heavily damaged. Let's see if we can take a look on board with his owner for one of the last times this season long, Ethan Burrell. I think he is running along in the 4th position. Oh, Robert Hill, he's going to have an issue. Let's go back, actually. Did he save it? He may have had some damage just as we were taking that back. The kink grabs another. So as we watch there, that sharp right-hander, he just drops the tire off. Yeah, oh, well, all forward. He's actually going to get some damage there. He does to the left-hand side of the race car there, left front.
Now we'll go back to Ethan.
So an expensive day for Ethan Burrell, but also a sad day for El Competitor running along in the 5th position. Looks like he's trying to bring this home in the top 5, and why not? In your career, I knew a guy.
Carlos in front of him.
Yes,
That's
who that
Hosak.
is.
That was Michael Hosak.
24 car. See if I can get through.
Sounds like those cars are talking in driver chat. They're very beat up and under power, and they're having trouble going slow and letting other cars by. And they get loose trying to let other cars go by.
Dave, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who was the last driver to retire that finished inside the top 5 his very last start?
You're asking me. I have no clue. I am not a NASCAR fan I watch them, but I'm not a stat guy. Give me some hints. Give me close. I know some names.
Oh, I think
What
you
era?
know this one. It was very soon. Very, what do you call it?
Recently his last drive, man, I'd say Dale Jr. then.
No.
Or Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson at Phoenix 2020. Able to end his
Trying to
career
think of
on a
who
high
ended
note
their
with a
career
top 5
recently.
at Phoenix. I know because I personally saw that car and I still personally booed that man. It was a great moment. Now, anybody that knows me knows. I mean, broadcasting me, I would never say this, but hey, hopefully this has never seen the light of day. No, I'm joking. I was an OG Jimmy Johnson hater from 2002 onward, and I personally went because Keselowski had a shot at winning the championship. Fell short to Elliott that year, that race. But Johnson, that was also his last race for the Cup Series, and I couldn't pass up a chance to boo him one more time.
Well, I think pro wrestling proved you have to have baby faces and you have to have heels. So I mean, they make good stories in the entertainment. So that's fine.
Exactly. So he still owes me $100, but that's a different story for a different day. All right, so 8 laps to go here in the Road American Challenge.
It's gotten within 3 seconds here.
So it's not over. Those fresher tires on the 15. Despite that excursion, he's going to have to get through the lap traffic. Looks like Joshua Clark is going to clear himself.
Take a look at the lap time, see how he got back that close.
And Anderson is going to have to ask a bit more out of his tires to reach the finish line than that 15 car will have to.
Ah, I see how he got back that close. And we said he has to stay clean, right?
The Whiskey Cash replay sees all. That was a big slide. He's lucky the 15 didn't make up more.
He's lucky he didn't get in the sand. He would have lost a lot more time on that sand.
That was that. I don't know. What have we seen on this racetrack? What corner have we seen have the most trouble? Is it turn 1 or turn 5?
It feels like my gut would say 1, but I don't know. It's certainly been more spectacular in 1.
I'd definitely say the highlight reel here tonight is going to have a lot of turn 1. Now the question is, does he stabilize the lead? And whatever mistake that led to that, will he be able to overcome it? And
Chad
not
was
have
able
it
to.
happen again?
That cost him 3.5 seconds, basically.
And now, if you're Chad Frankenfield, that car gets bigger. You as a driver, you naturally are more hungry, but that also puts you into asking a little bit more from your race car than perhaps you would have had you not seen leader. So will that force that 15 car who now sees the leader, does that force him into a mistake?
Wonder if Chad looks out the window and sees a $50 bill hanging from a stick, and that's what he's chasing.
I'd like to know, where does this money coming from? Is it Chad himself? Is he really not going to pay? Yeah, we'll ask that. These are the investigators.
Oh, car
right in front. It's Zach Evans. Thankfully, he is out of the way. He gets it towed back right before the 15 car got there. Trouble for our broadcasting partner there. Just misses the curb and into that barrier. That kink claims another one, and perhaps we should add that one into the list as well. Corners of which we have seen the most action here tonight. Six laps to go here, just under about 12 more minutes of racing. You see the 05 of Robert Hill Jr. He's been able to run down the 64 of Andrew Rucker, and this is a battle that will not quit at all. Rucker going to play a little bit of defense there as Robert Hill Jr. tries to get to his back bumper. The gap about 1 car length between the two before they enter the carousel. Long corner, long turns 9 and 10. Robert Hill, who had suffered some damage on the left-hand side of that race car, entering the kink. Have to wonder, he lost quite a bit of time there. He must have been able to make it all up. That or the 64 had a moment and gave it all up. This is the closest battle we have on the racetrack. Now they're going to enter turn 12. And the 05 not close enough to try and take a look underneath so that he wants the position right there. He'll have to get back into the gas.
Jump up here to Weeks. Weeks is coming up on. Weeks just got by Therian.
Seeing some cars in his windshield there. Something he really hadn't seen since that restart. There were 2 cars in that shot.
They must have spun and come back to him. Lead's about the same up front.
To go. Yeah, Chad not really improving. You're not losing anything there, but R.C. Anderson, he cannot afford to make that same mistake, and you have to wonder, why did that mistake happen at all? Was it simply an oversight on his part driving? Is something on the race car giving up? These questions are going to be answered here with 5 laps to go. About 10 more minutes of racing remain here. Talafode doing all he can. Mr. Consistency. That is what we have seen of that 40 car all season long. And he might have a shot with this run here. Trying to calculate the points in my head. Just briefly, David Tucker's still doing a good job there despite the heavy nose damage he received on that Toyota Camry after popping the wall on the exit of turn 6 earlier this race. But Talafode, who, when we came to Road America here, he led the points by almost 30 in front of Nick Massey. He's going to finish in front of Nick Massey at third place tonight. Pardon if anything should happen to him. And he might be able, I would say, to lock up, if we still get 1 spot per position there, he might be able to lock up this championship lead tonight. I believe he is going to be definitely inside the grid. I don't think there's any way he'd be able to fall out, but I think he might actually lock up being first no matter what happens next week.
And I think there's a bonus point, too, for finishing the regular season champion. So I think you'll want to lock that in as well.
That is something to be said for that 40 car as we take a look at the last laps ever for Ethan Burrell in that 37 car on a Wednesday night here. Got to know. I know he was with Domino's a little bit, so I don't know what the new job is, but this has just been, and for me, an iconic paint scheme for him. I know that's a place we've had some success there.
I think he said he's going with the Electric Workers Union, so maybe that'll be a new sponsor for his truck.
We'll take a look, but the memories made in that 37 car, including most recently winning the Coke 600.
He did find out mid-race during that first fun caution that we also run F1 on Sundays. So he said he might be have to take a chance at open wheel racing and run that series as well.
So definitely not the last we have seen. Meet the morale for Elite. Just gonna be switching rides. 4 laps to go. Let's check back in with our leader there in second place, Chad Frankenfield in that 15. You see him. He is now actually fallen considerably back behind R.C. Anderson there. I think he's now, whatever time he lost in that 50 car, he's gained it all back despite the 15 car with fresher tires. I think the 15 may have had an issue there.
Yeah, I was looking back. That giving back 2.5 seconds was awful lot, but I don't see it going off course. He must have.
Just had a terrible set of corners, which could happen to that 50 car. It's not over. Scott Haney with a couple of those circles on that car did not look very happy. I would imagine that would match the personality and mindset of that 3 car. They're probably not too happy with the run he's having there right now. Here is once again Robert Hill Jr. He's not giving up. You can see that 64 car Andrew Rucker. He wants 11th place, and he could get it.
I never did hear race control weigh in on that Goodman crash. Let's see.
I think it might, unfortunately for Goodman, it might be a case of he was already on the racing surface kind of in the way anyway. He gassed it up and just wrong time, wrong place on the 44 again.
One of the things we can see in live timing is the number of off tracks, and some of these guys have some pretty high numbers. I think the highest one's 31 off tracks. Or I won't say who it is. But yeah, some of them are definitely in the upper mid-teens, 13, 14, 15 off tracks.
And I'm gonna guess though the guys that have not had any are the ones that we are seeing in the top 6
We
or so.
only have one that has none. That's Tyler Fody. R.C. Anderson has just 2, and we saw both of those. And Chad just has 2.
So not only is that 40 car consistent as far as keeping the car clean, but consistently keeping the car clean on track.
Then Tate Lytle would get the award for overcoming the off tracks. He's had 12 off tracks, but is still in 6th place.
So good run for him as we take a look at the last couple of laps here for the 50 car. You know, this is the centennial event for the JoinAPS.com Cup Series. Here they're running their 100th race here. We already mentioned $50 on the line. Looks like Chad Frankenfield will personally have to sign that check over to the 50 car unless something happens.
A crash.
Michael Goodman in the 44 car.
Doesn't look like he's going fast enough to crash.
It just comes to a stop.
I think he just quit. Mark Rebelus saw through the sand.
This is turn 5 for that sharp left-hander. Gets it going back in the right direction.
Gets it back on track, though, and has another issue.
Oh, my. Well, you said you were going to name people, but I'm getting a sense of
he's not the one.
Just who those drivers are.
Yeah, the names you've seen the most. 34 is now the new high number, 34.
Thankfully, these are not tallies issued here as we get the 2 to go signal from race control.
No, tonight's been a tally-free night.
Yeah, surprisingly. Everybody that's had an issue has really taken out themselves. The only thing I think that we saw, which we documented, was the Rucker and Goodman issue. But that, even that did not. Oh, Robert Hill. He saved it.
There's another off track.
It will not go the way he was hoping for, trying to catch Rucker in that 64 car. That might be all she wrote for him. Don't think he's going to have enough time to gather that up. Oh, Nick Massey, big spin. He'll go off course.
And that's in front of lap cars, so that was not anything going on for position, but go back and see what happened to him. Passing a lapped car.
Kind of up high, not typically where I think he would want to be, just trying to get around that lapped car.
Carried too much speed.
Thankfully, he it was not worse for him. Final couple of corners here. This reminds me very much of the real world race we had, the Cup Series, visiting here as we see another off-track excursion in front of the leader. That'd be the 12 car. Vincent Isabella is big and inside.
Vincent Isabella in quotes?
Yes. Working turn number 14, trying to see the white flag this time by RC pole setter. Has led the most laps here tonight. Has kept that car pretty clean, only as we had mentioned there, 2 off-track excursions. One that did cost him the lead, but has been able to remedy that, and it was undercutting on pit road against Chad Frankenfield, making up 5 seconds. Ordered to leapfrog to 15. He passed for the lead, not on track, but yes, on pit road, as we are on board, working turn number 2. He just needs to navigate 12 more corners before adding his second win of the season here to Road America. You see the 48 car. Oh, Wyatt Canadal. Heavy into the guardrail there. Trying to give way to some of those lap cars as Nick Massey and Matthew Weeks.
That's for position.
These guys still have a lap to go. They have not taken the white flag, so that just puts into perspective just how far along R.C. Anderson is up the road. This is the part of the driver you're told to just hit your marks. These are days that every race car driver dreams of, not having anybody in your rear view mirror, a day where you can say you solidly were the best and have every intention of backing it up all the way to victory lane. Down into turn number 12 here. There's just nobody in the rear view mirror as we take a look at one last replay. Looked like Nick Massey with another off-track excursion.
Gonna take a shot here. Locks it up.
Yes, he does. He gets off. Want to get back to R.C. Anderson there. He'll be crossing the start-finish line, though. It should be right now. With after this final corner. And on to the front stretch here. R.C. Anderson. The centennial event for the Elite Racing Network will belong to him. $50 in his pocket, and R.C. Anderson wins the Road America Challenge.
Thought he was going to spin out right in front of the other cars.
Chad Frankenfield in second place, his best finish of the season, and then there's Tyler Fody in the 40 car, going to sweep the podiums here tonight. One of the only cars to not have any off-track excursion as well. David Tooker coming home in the 4th position. And then how about this? Ethan Burrell, his very last start. There's the checkered flag for the man that owns Pro Edge Racing. And in his final start is going to earn that top 5. That 37 car brought home in one piece and looking pretty clean. There's a tap from Joshua Clark, a guy he has helped with and believed in all season long. There's the 56 of Tate Lytle.
Post race.
He'll celebrate by putting it into the wall. He's doing an excellent job. Some rookie stripes on the back end of that car, but nothing else on it. Not a bad day for Shane there.
Lots of love for Ethan going on in the driver chat right now.
Probably a little bit emotional.
And you can never say never. He's a young guy. Could end up having time to do it.
Yeah,
who knows?
Could be like, pump this job. No, I'm joking.
Elite could always shake things up and put cups on Sunday night, too. You never know.
I think he's going to savor this last lap. And as we take a look at the rest of the finishing order here, we can go ahead and bring in some of the top people.
We got Tyler Fody
of the night. How about Tyler Fody? Their regular season championship, I believe, belongs to this driver here. I don't think anybody can catch him. We'll have to wait for final scoring there, so that is unofficial. But Tyler, man, you've had a great season so far. Dave was able to look at the stats. You were one of the, if not the only driver to not have an off-track excursion at all during this event. Walk us through your night and a solid third place.
Yeah, it was a little bit eventful. First stage there, first 8 laps, had a good little battle between me, Tooker, and Chad. So that was cool. Almost ruined it though. I think like on lap 5 or something, hit the curb. But other than that, I mean, the second stage got going, kind of fell into our spot, which I think was 4th or 5th, and then Tooker had an incident. And we just kept it on the track, split the stage in half, and just coasted in for 3rd. So I'm happy with it.
This is leading up into our final race before the championship. It really gets going here, but you have been Mr. Consistency all season long. Walk us through what's going to be going through your mind as we reach playoff time.
Yeah, really just trying to just keep that momentum going. You don't got to win all of them, but you do have to finish all of them. So try and keep that mindset. We'll have a little bit of a points cushion. Just try to get the solid finishes and get us to the last race.
All right, man. Well, you have a lot to celebrate there, including, I believe, as I mentioned there before, locking up the regular season championship. I don't believe anybody can catch you next race, so that's got to let you feel good as we enter the last race of the regular season. Want to give you the chance to shout out anyone and anything you'd like here for the ERN number.
Yeah, I got to shout out teammate Vince there. Solid 13th. I don't know where he's sitting at, but this has got to help tonight for him. Shout out to RC for dominating the field once again. Also got to shout out Ethan Burrell. I don't know if y'all got the news, but this will be his last cup race with us, and I think Xfinity also for a job. So huge shout out to him. It's always been fun racing with him. Heck of a racer. And then, yeah, shout out to you guys too for doing this, being up here in the booth.
All right, no problem at all there. That's Tyler Fody walking away with a 3rd place finish here tonight at Road America. I want to bring in our 2nd place driver there, Chad Frankenfield, about to join us here. And there he is. Chad, you had a great run here. Best finish of the season. What did you need a little bit more of in order to catch RC?
I just needed to not make mistakes. I before the pit stops, he was faster than me, but I was close. And then after the pit stops with me doing the overcut and him doing the undercut, if I would have just ran clean laps, I might have been able to get to him at the end. But I mean, getting to him is one thing, passing to him is another. I mean, he's he's very good at what he does. So it's as soon as it seemed like anytime I'd get close to him, he'd start to pull away again, and then I'd lock it up or something. But honestly, it just feels good to be competitive again on a road course. I was joking before the race. When this series started, I was able to win these races by 25 seconds. And now it's a fight. Every position's a fight, and it's good to see. So it was cool to run up front finally again on a road course.
And as I mentioned, they're the best finish of the season here. We have one more race and before the playoffs begin there, but that's got to build up your confidence there. You think you're going to find victory lane soon?
I hope so. I mean, these races are really tough. You really need everything to go your way. I mean, there's a couple times this year I felt like I had a car to win and it was in position and something happened. But I mean, really at this stage in the season, it's not so much about getting the wins; it's about just maximizing what your point situation. And I think I'm locked in after tonight, so I think that's going to help out going into Daytona because I don't want to be the guys on the bubble going into Daytona. But yeah, I mean, it's just good to build momentum, and then we have another road course in the chase too. So I think it's obviously everything's coming together at a good time.
All right, Chad, well, I want you to take off the driver helmet and put on the owner helmet there. We're taking a look at Ethan Burrell celebrating his last race with us, and he's been a main factor in this series for so long. What about this guy will you miss the most?
Well, I don't know if it's a permanent. I think it's his work situation. So it's going to be a while before we see him again on Mondays and Wednesdays, which is unfortunate. We're still going to dice it up in the truck series on Sunday, but honestly, it's just what he brings to the community. I mean, we're a tight knit group. I mean, we race with each other 5 days a week, 4 to 5 days a week, and Ethan's one of those guys that's been a staple with us since we made the move to iRacing in 2017, 2018, and he's kind of the guy. I mean, as a league owner, you can't ask for a better person to represent the league. He does everything he's supposed to on the track. He represents himself off the track well. He's brought team members, and I know Ethan very well, and I know this. Obviously, he's not going to be racing with us on Mondays and Wednesdays for a while, or maybe for good. But he's going to be just as involved as ever. I know for sure he'll be tuning in and helping his team out. And I think what's more interesting is he's going to be going full-time trucks next season, so that'll be interesting to watch as well. So he's going to try to get a truck championship. So, but yeah, I mean, you can't say anything good. I mean, and Alex, you've known Ethan longer than I have. I mean, he's you can't ask for a better person to have in your league than Ethan Burrell. So. Or Burrell, sorry. You just can't ask for a better person to have in your league. So,
No, you really could not. So, want to give you the chance though to shout out anyone and anything you'd like for your best finish of the season here.
Yeah, I just want to thank Kicking the Tires. They came on board this season, and I'm glad I'm glad I got them in the chase for Cup and Xfinity, and want to thank JoinAPS.com. This was our 100th Cup race tonight, so they've been with us. They've actually been with us since NASCAR Heat Evolution, so they've been with us for a long time. C2 Freight, Powerhouse Marketing, or Powerhouse Recycling, Blue Egg Marketing for everything that they do for us. Thank you guys from the booth. I'm glad that RC didn't stink to show up tonight, at least somewhat, so we had something for you guys to follow throughout the race, because based on qualifying, I was a little worried, but yeah, I'm just thankful for everything that's happened over the last 100 races. It's been incredible. To have 38 to 43 cars show up every single week, even for a road course that some guys don't want nothing to do with, is pretty remarkable. So, yeah, I'm just pretty thankful.
Remarkable indeed there, Chad. You've done a great job with the league. I'm happy to be a part of that. And thank you so much for allowing that to happen.
Yeah, thank you for coming on board. Appreciate it.
All right, that was Chad Frankenfield, second place runner-up finish for the Road America Challenge. Now, last but certainly not least in any way or shape or form of the word, RC, I don't even know what or where to begin to ask you, because I knew from the drop of the green flag you had something for him tonight, and you proved it. You had a couple of moments, and I do mean couple as in two, where it looked like it got away from you, but you were certainly able to back it up. Just walk us through your night and getting to victory lane.
Yeah, it was pretty. I mean, I guess I felt a little plain and simple for me. I mean, I knew I was quick after practice, and then qualified on pole, and I knew the fun flag comes out at 8. So once I got about a 2-second gap, I just kind of chilled there, conserved tires, trying not to make mistakes, and just kind of sat till the fun flag came out. But after the fun flag's over and we go back green, and I was behind Tooker, caught back up to him, was able to get by, and took the lead again. I was trying to put a bit of distance between me and everybody else just so I could get to the point where I could just cool it and run some laps to the end. But yeah, that mistake, I just got distracted, broke a little bit too late. Ended up running wide. The second you touched the grass, it was like ice, so it made it tough. But then the second mistake was later in the race. It was towards the end. Just trying to push too much on older tires. I pitted earlier than Chad, just knowing it'd be easier to try to pass him in the pits than it would be on track. So I made sure to pit a little bit earlier and try to throw in a really big flyer, and it worked. It got me up in front of him. And then it was just kind of managing. It was which one of us was going to make more mistakes.
Well, my next question is what's your secret? I mean, just these road courses, they come so naturally. I know a lot of that plays with real world ability. I mean, iRacing, we're seeing the world of iRacing really blend well with real world racing here. And I know that's got to be a factor into how you handle these road courses, but still, you're able to do stuff where these guys are just, almost 10 seconds behind them. What is it that you're doing inside the race car that you feel gives you an advantage over other competitors?
I mean, that's a tough one. Obviously, I come from a lot of real world experience, and most of my real world experience is all on road courses. There's actually very few ovals that I've ever done, and that's why I struggle a little bit on ovals. It kind of just depends on where. Sometimes I'll sneak in a win, maybe like a short track where you're actually really like using the brake pedal a lot, and that comes into more road course racing. But anything mile and a half and up is where I tend to struggle a little bit. And these guys, which they really have it down. And then the second thing I'd say is your sim setup. I don't know what everybody else is running on, but I don't have any equipment that I would say put on the lower end. I'm definitely not on the high end. I'm not on a direct drive wheel or anything like that, but I'm definitely not on the low end. So it comes with a lot of the feel, a lot of the force feedback. But with the way this car was set up for this race, you're burning that left rear up. So the right-handers are super tough, which Road America that's mostly right-handers, and everything on left-handers felt great. So we were burning a lot of the left rears. There was a lot of just managing mistakes. I mean, I spent half the time I feel like I was tiptoeing around. I mean, you can't really like push the car. It was kind of finding that level of am I pushing enough or am I pushing too much?
Well, it seemed like you were able to push it just right here. Want to give you the chance to shout out anything and anyone you would like here as the winner of the Road America Challenge.
I'd just like to shout out my team, White Lightning Racing, and you guys up here in the booth, and Chad, who runs the league. I mean, I love doing these. I say it every time. I mean, I go back and watch the replays just because they're so entertaining to watch, and you see all the battles and everything. So it's good racing, and I really enjoy it, and I hope to be here for a long time running.
All right, so that's R.C. Anderson, winner of tonight's big event, the Centennial event for the JoinAPS.com Cup Series. $50 going to be added to your bank account as well.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Dave. Well, with that, Road America in the rearview mirror, we turn our attention to Daytona and the last sought for some of these drivers in order to make the playoff. We know a number of drivers have been able to lock themselves in here, but a lot of the drivers have not, and they have Daytona circled on their calendar.
Yeah, and we'll get a lot of events going on with a lot of crossover events with these guys too in the next couple of weeks with the month of May to kind of spice it up a little bit before we head to Daytona on, I think, May 4th, right?
Yes, it seems that to be May 4th. So next week, the 101st event only seems aptly that we are at Daytona here. But again, that's going to decide, that's race 11 of our regular season there. And after that, the points will fall and settle down, and wherever they are, we will be able to set the field. 12 drivers will be able to make it in, and then we begin an elimination style event until we crown a champion down the road. But in order to do that, we are going to have to get off the air and have a couple of sleeps before that. So make sure you join us join us on May 4th. May the 4th be with you at 8. 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time there. A lot to look forward to. Want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors there. C2 Freight there. JoinAPS, who's been with us for 100 races so far. Blue Egg Marketing. All these guys doing what they can. Powerhouse Recycling as well. Allowing us to give you guys broadcasts here every Wednesday night on YouTube. Chad for all he does for the league there. And then again, Dave, I want to thank you for being able to producing us a great race there so far. We had a lot of highlights, a lot of wrecks in turn one, and a lot of Whiskey Cash replays we had to show. And that was done perfectly by Dave, my right-hand man here tonight. But from all of us from ERN, we hope you enjoyed tonight's Centennial event. We'll see you next week at Daytona. Don't go anywhere.